It's Dr. T. In this episode, we're answering the question, how is social media impacting us? We are all spending more time on screens. That's just a fact. Whether it's television, TV, movies we're streaming, gaming, social media, we are spending a lot of time. And now they're actually able to tell us exactly how much time we're spending, which is a little frightening. Impact on us. Well, there are upsides. There are more opportunities for connection. Facebook was certainly the first to do this. People could keep track of distant relatives, friends from high school and childhood. It was exciting for people to be able to connect in that way and to help them maintain their relationships more easily. However, the connections tend to be more superficial than if we were interacting face to face or if we were calling someone and talking to them. And most of us, research shows, are connected to people who were already in our physical proximity. So we are not really staying that well connected to people who are not already close to us physically. There are physical impacts. It is interfering with our sleep. We do know that you should cut off the blue screen 30 to 60 minutes at least before you go to bed. Definitely shouldn't be falling asleep in front of a screen, which many of us do. I will admit to doing that myself on occasion. And what this is doing is it's rewiring our brains in ways that we may not like if we were aware of it and we're consciously choosing. One big way in which this is happening is that being on the screen gives us a dopamine hit. And while it's doing that, it's also desensitizing us so that we need a bigger hit next time around. So we are changing the reward, the pleasure system in our brains, which is causing us to crave more and more of that screen time. Social impacts. There's more isolation with people choosing to interact via screens or social media. We're not getting that conversational experience that we used to. And we are staying at home more and reaching out via text and so on, as opposed to actually physically interacting with people. And it can have serious mental health consequences. We know for young people in particular that there's an increase in depression and suicidal ideation the more time they spend on their screens. We can also experience feelings of inadequacy because most of us share our best lives on our social media accounts. And so we end up looking at our own messiness and our insides and comparing with other people's outsides, what they put up for show, and coming to the conclusion that we fall short. We can't live up to that perfection. Other social impacts it's having on us is it's fracturing our attention. Many of us are on our screens while we are watching another screen, right? How many of you are on your phone while you're watching something on TV or trying to text or do something on your phone while somebody's trying to interact with you? And as much as we think we can split our attention, we cannot. The human brain can only attend to one thing at a time. So what you're doing is rapidly shifting your attention. You're not actually paying attention to two things at one time. And of course, as I alluded to a moment ago, we are creating addictions for ourselves. Many of us cannot go anywhere without our phone. We hear our phone calling of us is in the other room, our coat pocket, someplace else. If somebody takes it from us, we're not allowed to have it in a particular social setting. We miss it. There's also this fracturing of social trust because how do you know what is real and true on social media, particularly with AI? We now have generated images and text that could be attributed to someone when it's really not true. So lies can spread very quickly on social media, as does any kind of information. And at this point in time, there's very little being done in this country in terms of fact checking. Other places, the EU, are doing a better job at that. But at least during the last election, Facebook and other outlets, Meta and other outlets, were trying to fact check. And now they've given up as kind of a nod to the current regime, trying to appease the current regime. They've opted out of fact checking. The other thing we should be really concerned about socially is that social media does a very good job of radicalizing people. And we have good data on this now. When you go on any platform, whether it's YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, anything else, there are things being fed to you or suggested for you. And typically what they do is move you along a line to one pole or the other, whichever way you're sort of tending, and they feed you more and more outrageous content. The reason they do that is because outrage keeps you engaged, and your engagement is dollars in their pocket. So they're worried about losing our attention. And that's how they end up radicalizing us with what they push us. Now, there are opportunities in social media. As long as we are not censored, and there's some evidence that that's happening already, we can use it to do things like organize, to resist what's happening politically right now. That's where people are organizing against the Trump regime at this moment in time. So we're at a critical juncture. We've got sort of two key questions that are hanging out there for us right now as far as social media. One is, are we going to use the research on the impacts of social media to us physically, psychologically, neurologically, socially, and try to put some guardrails out there? Or are we not? And then the second question is, will the Trump regime, because it is now a powerful mechanism for organizing the resistance, will they begin to censor things that they don't like?